What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning on in. Tobin here with you. You're beautiful. What can I say? Looking forward to the week ahead, and you guys can check us out, Tobin and Leroy, every single weekday, 6 to 10 a.m., and you guys can get that at the Ticket Miami's YouTube page to check out our clips and watch us every single morning exclusively on Twitch. But I am actually hoping that's not exclusively for very much longer. I am hoping that we will be able to stream soon on the 7 Night Ticket YouTube page, so more and more of you can check us on out. But as for this little Rascals page, let's get into something I've been wanting to get into today on this Sunday. I irrationally was sitting in my backyard refreshing around 155 again and 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 again to see whether or not Udonis Haslem was coming back for a 20th season. Maybe I'm just so thirsty for Heat news. I don't know what it was, but I put Will Manso and Ira Winderman and Anthony Chang and Barry Jackson all on notifications just so I could get the news. Now, my gut was that he was coming back for a 20th season. I just felt like he doesn't announce it at his camp that he's retiring. I didn't feel like that was the vibe. I didn't think that was the case. He had also mentioned the coming back for a 20th season, wanting that to be the number. And of course, you had the tough news this year of his father passing away, and that was always a thing for him. So he is back. Udonis Haslem announcing today that he is coming back for a 20th season. He is going to turn he turned 42 in June, and he's going to be back. I'm excited for it. He said, quote, "I've decided to follow through with what me and my father had talked about, and I will finish what I started, and I will play 20 years. I will play this year because I talked about it with my father, and that's what we would do. It won't be the same. It won't be easy, but the goal remains the same: to win a championship, leave it on the line, and hold your head high when it's over." That he had been a big-time thing that he wanted to reach this milestone for a long time. And I'm thrilled for him. I'm thrilled for Udonis Haslem. I love having Udonis Haslem on the Miami Heat. I'd have Udonis Haslem on the Heat if he wanted to play 25 years. I'd be all for it because I just think that for what he brings to this team, and I know that there'll be the snarky YouTube comments, but these are just idiots who didn't see. You know, first of all, they're just trolls and dummies who like to make us stink about everything. But I just think that you hear from everybody in that locker room, and especially the guys who are undrafted. 7 guys on the Heat's roster undrafted this year, and you hear them recite what he says like it's gospel. How you think that doesn't mean anything, or how you think that doesn't have a huge impact with him being on this team as a player is just wild to me. I don't get it. I don't get the Heat fans that are upset about it. I don't really think they are Heat fans. I think that they're just trolls, idiots, and dummies who want to be angry about something. I think it's just like a thing where you're just like, oh, I'm so mad this guy's here on the roster and he's not doing anything. And he's just, it's like, so let me get this straight. All kidding aside, you're more upset with Udonis Haslem being on the roster, with all respect, Markieff Morris. Like, you're more upset that Udonis Haslem, who means something to you, who is a piece of your franchise's history, you're more upset with that guy being on the roster than a guy who can go get blocked by the rim. I'm just like, I get very, very weirded out by this, by Heat fans who ever have a thing to say about UD being on the roster. When you see that the impact that he has on the guys like Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, Omer Yurtseven, all of these players, Caleb Martin, Bam Adebayo, who looks at him as like a brother, a mentor. And you hear the way they speak of him, and you hear the way Eric Spoelstra speaks of him, and you hear the way Pat Riley speaks of him, and you know all the things that he's done for this organization, the money in the past that he sacrificed for this organization, being the all-time leading rebounder, the culture bearer, the guy who really shows it how it's done, the OG guy, the OG gem out of nowhere that they were able to find to be a key to their championship pieces. You really just want that gone for what? Like, this is not a team that has struggled to find end of the roster guys. This has not been a franchise that has struggled to find pieces to supplement their roster. I don't know if there's a better organization in the sport that's as good at it. And I don't think they're as good at it without him there as a player on the roster. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you've heard a player quote Chris Quinn? When's the last time you've seen one quote Malik Allen? When's the last time, as loved as he is, Caron Butler? And Caron Butler is not very far removed from being a player. But when's the last time you've heard a player utter a Caron Butler mantra as if it was written out of some kind of Heat Bible? They do that with Udonis Haslem. It means something. It means something for him to be in that locker room, on that bench, serving the purpose that he serves. And also, so many times in sports, we have always said that this is such a cold thing that it's become a business, right? It has become cutthroat, cold, doesn't have any goosies, doesn't have any feelings. So the Heat have this one thing of a man who represents everything good that the organization has and wants him there to go out on his terms when he wants to. We finally get that. They didn't even let Dwayne Wade do that. Mind you, they didn't even let Dwayne Wade do that, and they should have. It was a huge, huge mistake for the organization to ever do that. I grant you, I know it's a big difference in money because, you're talking about, D-Wade was wanted this, and the organization didn't want to invest in, which was stupid. Thankfully, it came with the supplemental prize of Dwayne Wade recruiting Jimmy Butler to the Heat. But it was a dumb thing to let happen, letting Dwayne Wade leave. So they're making something right here by, all right, we effed up with Dwayne. Let's not do that with Udonis Haslem. And not only that, everybody on the roster doesn't seem to have an issue with it. Everybody on the roster talks about the importance of having him there. And so him wanting to go out on his own terms is a great thing. It's finally something that in sports you should be happy about. The idea that you have this guy who is a cornerstone of your organization. His jersey's going to go up in the rafters. He deserves every accolade that this franchise can give him. And also, by the by, is of your city. Born, bred, brought up down here, is a success story, is a role model. And you're going to get upset about that because why? You want another Martin twin on your roster because you want to find some other person from God knows where to, give you no minutes, no production, and have no meaning to you. I struggle to figure out the good reason for it. I really do. Because there's always going to inevitably be people on your roster that don't play. That's going to happen. No matter how many of these people, how many projects you think you have, eventually there's going to be some veteran that you want there that you're just like, yeah, we got this guy, break glass in case of emergency. And, like last year it was Markieff Morris for the Miami Heat. I'm just like, wow, so you're telling me there are Heat fans that would rather have Markieff Morris on that roster and X-player instead of Udonis Haslem. And I just can't wrap my mind around that. That's just such a strange thing for me. And I don't know if more people, if I'm just sensitive to a whiny, crybaby Twitter echo chamber that just has the snarkiest of the snark. Everybody's so snarky about everything. I don't know if it's because the KD Donovan Mitchell thing isn't happening, but I know this stuff has been, Udi's been dealing with this stuff for the last few years about, oh, you're taking up a roster spot. Oh, you do. Dude, shut the hell up. You don't know. If you don't know, you won't know. And I struggle to look at those people as real Heat fans because they look to it and say, well, you could use it as a real a spot to develop somebody else. You guys are so good. No. You're gonna question the methods of an organization that keeps rolling out year after year after year after year after year, gem after gem of overlooked player after overlooked player after overlooked player. And every one of those overlooked players is going to look to that roster and say, Udonis Haslem meant something to where I am. Max Strus having Udonis Haslem go to his youth camp. Gabe Vincent having Udonis Haslem go to his youth camp. Omer Yurtseven showing up to Udonis Haslem's youth camp. You're going to see all of that, and you're going to say it means nothing. For all the things that this fan base preaches about, heat culture and toughest, nastiest, most professional organization, most disliked in all of the NBA, you really get bothered about the idea that, about an icon getting to go out on his terms when it doesn't matter in the NBA? I'll never understand it. This isn't the NFL where it's like, oh, the 53-man roster, you can only carry so much. This is the mother bleeping NBA, okay? 8 people play that matter. 8, maybe 9. Maybe if you're feeling froggy, 11 during the regular season. But my God, 14 ain't playing. 14 people are not playing in the NBA. You're missing out on nothing. For once in your miserable lives, can you just be happy that the team that you root for is doing something right by somebody who's done so much for your organization? 3 championships, all-time leading rebounder, shut down Dirk's ass in 06, big-time playoff games against the Bulls, big-time playoff games against the Pacers, big-time playoff games all throughout every championship this team has had. Dwayne Wade's wingman, ending Dwayne Wade's career with a triple-double. All of these milestones mean something. Every time he gets in that game, the real Heat fan gets their ass out of their seats, gets the goosies, loves watching him out there, and for all you miserable pricks out there who are sitting here saying, well, I'd rather have some project from Sioux Falls. Guess what? They got that too, and the reason it's probably a success is because UD is teaching them the ways. Like a Heat culture sensei. And you're sitting here being miserable. Oh, just belly aching about it. Get the hell out of here. The guy should be able to go out on his terms. He should definitely get his 20 years. He should do what him and his father have spoken about. He's never going to leave this organization. He should get a piece of ownership. I never want Udonis Haslem to not be a part of the Miami Heat. I never want that to happen. Disgusts me to even think about that. That he could go somewhere else or not be around. I hate that idea. And in today's day and age where we complain and moan about everything, can we as a fan base just be happy that this guy who has done so much for this organization gets to go out on his terms? Because there is no consequence of it. You idiots out here who are like, well, he's taking a spot. No, he's not. This is the NBA. Tell me the last time that many players played. I dare you. I dare you. You can't find it. You can't find it. And so for UD to get to do this the way he wanted to do it, I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. I hope that they can close it out and do it with a championship. Whether they do or not, his presence is not going to cost him the championship, you idiots. So why anybody would be upset about this is beyond me. But I don't know. I think we're in just more of an ingrate world these day and age. In today's day and age, people are just looking to be crankopotamuses about something. But I know that I'm happy to have Udonis Haslem back on the Miami Heat. I'm looking forward to seeing another season with him, inspiring, showing that effort, showing the next wave what it takes, being there for Omer Yurtseven, being there for Caleb Martin, being there for Max Strus, being there for Gabe Vincent, being there for Bam Adebayo, being there for Eric Spoelstra if Jimmy Butler tries to fight him again. All of that. It makes me happy. It's a delight. And anybody who thinks otherwise is a rat bastard, and I won't hear of it.